say what you want, but it does mean people are willing to leave when their time is up on January 20th. And that's a good thing. The alternate makes us something like Egypt or Libya. So think of the alternatives. A couple of hundred years ago, they'd chop off your head. Louis XVI met his end by guillotine in the Place de la Concorde in Paris. Chile, they never convicted Augusto Pinochet of his crimes, but he did die under house arrest. In Russia, Vladimir Putin's reforms mean political opponents either die or mysteriously fall out windows. Vladimir Putin likes to poison people. It's slightly different than the Stalin way of dealing with things with a bullet to your head, but nobody wants to stop being president in Russia because there isn't much hope for you after. Take Iceland, for example. They put the prime minister on trial for just being bad at his job in the 2008 financial collapse. Not for stealing or soliciting bribes, but simply being bad at his job. So now it's up to Alvin Bragg to decide which club America will be in, and perhaps equally important, over what issue we go from the club that doesn't jail former leaders to the club that does. With us now, Micahel Disciorarro, longtime assistant district attorney in New York and now a criminal defense attorney. Micahel, it was good seeing you last night and again today. Is this the off-ramp we talked about yesterday?
I don't know, because I don't know what Bragg is doing. How do you try to indict the former president of the United States and you're having witness problems? Average DAs in everyday cases have witness problems. That's part of doing the grand jury. I used to have witness problems, but I wasn't indicting the former president of the United States.
Yeah, well said. Manhattan DA in 2021, 500 lawyers, $150 million budget, former assistant attorney general for state of New York, grew up in Harlem, graduated from Harvard. And look, to be fair, this is personal for Alvin Bragg. He's made taking on Donald Trump really part of his persona and ran on that. But I think about, you talk about witness problems. Michael Cohen, who is the star witness in this case, Trump's former lawyer, a disgraced liar, known perjurer, they're thinking of bringing him back. This is the report of the grand jury being on standby tomorrow to bring Michael Cohen back to the grand jury. Again, I asked the question I asked last night. If Alvin Bragg doesn't want to indict Trump and says, look, the only thing worse than indicting him is indicting him and losing, what does he do?
He walks Michael Cohen into the grand jury, lets him testify again, and can shape the grand jury presentation in a way that guarantees there's no indictment. As we discussed last night, there's the DA is in complete charge of the grand jury. You walk into the grand jury, you're the man. Everybody looks at you for guidance. You're the legal advisor to the grand jury. You have to follow a few basic rules that have been given us by the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals. Other than that, you run the show. So if Bragg was, I don't understand how he started this and now he's looking for an off-ramp. If he wants an off-ramp, the grand jury can give it to him if he presents it the right way to not indict the case. But if Alvin Bragg really wanted to get Trump, and I don't do politics, Leland, as you know, I'm just a lawyer. He had the case that Pomerantz had. That case was much stronger with much better facts, and you didn't need Michael Cohen.
Yeah, it's a great point. How does this work, right? Trump's ongoing legal issues, the Mar-a-Lago documents, we're going to get to that a little later. The January 6th, this is the special counsel investigation. We've got the falsified documents over Stormy Daniels payoffs and the Georgia election interference. Everyone agrees this is by far the weakest case. In the end, though, indicting somebody is only the beginning of the war. It's not the end. You got to go to trial. You think about this, especially in Manhattan. There is a certain set of people, half the country will vote to convict Donald Trump on anything. Half the country will vote to acquit him on anything. And then that percentage changes significantly in Manhattan. How is it that he could get a fair trial anywhere in the country?
That's a very good political question. However, when it comes to, and we discussed this last night.
Well, but isn't it also a legal question? You got to be able to find a fair jury. If you're Michael Cohen's lawyer, if you're Donald Trump's lawyer, not Michael Cohen's lawyer, if you're Donald Trump's lawyer, can you go to the judge and say, look, judge, it is impossible to find a fair jury in Manhattan?
So where would you go?
That's the question.
Where would you go to find? First of all, the judge doesn't have the authority to move the case to Cleveland. He doesn't have the authority to move. He has to keep it in New York. In times when judges have switched venues in New York, it has happened. It happens less frequently. But I think in my experience, you're discounting Manhattan jurors too much. Manhattan is a very liberal place, no doubt. They voted against Trump, I don't know, 80%. But when you sit in front of a Manhattan jury, they want facts and they want to be explained the law, no matter who it is. I've seen verdicts that I would have never guessed because they're highly educated, highly intelligent, and they're not people that succumb to this kind of, my opinion, based on what I've seen in 21 years, of this kind of political pressure.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.